Okay, so welcome back. The show still continues live on Hstv. Right about now, we're moving into the world of sports. I'm talking about sports in minutes, and we have our Gen Z buddy of all sports anchor right here, ready to give us an update on things happening. Good morning, Precious.
Hello, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, yourself?
Good. Yeah, what's up?
So currently a lot of things are still trending. Talking about the Black Stars and other stars. It turns out, unfortunately, I don't know if you guys have heard about Neymar, but he has once again gotten an
Again?
Oh, I know you're saying again. Yeah, again.
All right, so we apologize for that technical hitch, but we're back again, and this is the I'm not going to say
Sports in minutes.
Sports in minutes segment. I apologize. Where we have Precious filling us in with updates on sports. Again, Precious, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, Gen Z, but you see what it costs.
I'm not that please.
Okay.
But we're talking about Neymar before.
Yeah. It looks like the guy they won't end in career because I know he's been injured and he's been off for some time. He came back and again.
He has been injured again.
What happened this time?
They played yesterday, talking about the Euro 2024 qualifiers, and then unfortunately, he got an injury.
What if it's going to cause a permanent, the more you keep getting injured as you play this
it
football,
restricts you a lot.
Might restrict his skills.
Time that he's gotten that.
This is the word?
16.
16th.
His national team, is it, where does he play for? Is it Brazil? Oh my.
Wow.
That's unfortunate. It's very sad we are experiencing something.
Keep praying for me.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so let's start with the Black Stars and talking about Heart's legend Amankwa Miracle. He has shared his candid view of a misfiring Black Star striker Iñaki Williams. So speaking on this, Miracle argued that it is about time the striker is excused from the national team. In his view, Iñaki Williams has offered nothing to the national team since making his debut. So according to Amankwa Miracle, if Black Stars coach Chris Hughton still wants to trust the striker, then he should contact Athletic Bilbao coach Ernesto Valverde on how to get him to score goals. Okay, so let me come to my host and find them out from them. Looking at Iñaki Williams' performance, how do you guys see him?
James.
Do you also think that he should be off for some time in terms of whenever there's going to be a competition, Chris Hughton calling this player? Do you think that it's about time to just pause for a while for him to find his feet before coming or joining the Black Stars?
Yeah, I think preparation is very key, and you training to get yourself better is one thing you can never do away with. If that is what is going to help him, why not? But if Chris Hughton is still insisting, I need this guy on the field, so he should put him on. All he needs to do is to he should keep training to get better. Because I believe, sometimes you need relaxation, you need to step aside for you to put yourself together. But when it takes too long or when it takes forever, actually you go rot.
Because he's a striker, and Ghana, our problem has always been goal scoring.
Goal scoring, yeah.
So I mean, he does so well when it comes to his club at Athletic Bilbao. When it comes to Ghana, he struggles.
He struggles too.
Scoring
You know,
goals.
it's we've been saying that football has to do with teamwork.
Yeah.
And looking at where he plays as compared to Ghana, you know, everything is on point. So it makes the work and the calculation very easier.
Easy.
But when it's kind of weak, when you're back to your local support and energy you need, it doesn't add up. So sometimes I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't at all.
Okay, so away from that story, let's talk about Bufako Tano and their head coach Frimpong Manso. He has been named NASCO Coach of the Month for September after guiding the side to an impressive performance last month. So he beat off competition from Arnold Walker of Accra Great Olympics and Samuel Fabian of Legon Cities FC. Coach Frimpong Manso won 2 out of 3 matches with 1 draw, scoring 3 and conceding 1 goal. However, a 43-inch NASCO television is set from Electroland Ghana Limited will be represented to the coach as a reward. Okay, so let's stay a bit longer on the Bufako Tano FC's camp, and it turns out that their captain, Saka Dauda, he has been honored with the prestigious NASCO Player of the Month award for September 2023. So Dauda was one of the 5 players shortlisted for the award, competing with teammates like Elijah Stephen Amankona of Berkum Chelsea, Evans Redu of Kerala United, and then Baba Hamadu Musa of FC Samatex. However, Dauda emerged as the winner thanks to his remarkable performance. So as a result of this achievement, Dauda will be presented with a 43-inch NASCO television courtesy of Electroland Ghana Limited. Okay, so let me come to my host once again and ask them about how they see the Best Power Ghana Premier League. I mean, it's been 5 games already. How do you see it, guys?
Looking at the response coming in, it looks like local team or local league, they are really picking up. Let's talk about Mediama. They've been in the news for only God knows, and I'm super excited about it. You know, when back then we used to appreciate Kotoko and Hearts of Folk, Olidade, all these teams, and I like the revamp, the energy, because they are still in the news. They are giving us something to talk about.
They are in the news, but they are not performing.
Yeah, but no, listen, let's
so
put it this way. You know how they are making the whole local thing relevant. I feel it's something we should celebrate. But with the performance too is another thing we should look out for, because you can't just make name and not perform or show anything or prove anything. I believe they should prove something. And talking about the person who won, you mentioned someone who has been honored. Dauda,
he's extra captain for Bufako Tano, which is a newly promoted side to the Best Power Ghana Premier League, and the coach was also awarded.
So I think these petty things, you know, it adds up, it changes them, it gives them the, you know, high hopes that they can do better. So let's keep supporting our local league. That's all I can say about it.
Okay, so away from that story, Ryan Veteran, and named it in the annals of English football and celebrated as a UEFA Champions League winner, arrived in Ghana yesterday, October 18, bearing a vision, a promise, and a beacon of hope for the country's aspiring football stars. Moving on to my next story, the presidents of the federations of Morocco, Portugal, and Spain met Wednesday morning in Lisbon as part of the joint bid to host the 2030 World Cup. So the leaders' summit brought together Fernando Gomez, we have Fauzi, and Pedro Rocha, and made it possible to continue the preparation of the candidacy, which unites 2 continents and aims to be the best in history for a World Cup. It was the second time that the presidents of the three associations met, but the first after FIFA's decision on the 2030 World Cup was known. So at the meeting yesterday, it was decided to present on October 28th the letter of intent to organize the World Cup, thus fulfilling one of the requirements of the application process. Okay, so yes, Arama, do you think that we will be able to compete in the next 2030 World Cup?
Well, as James said, if you keep on, pushing in, if you keep on putting in efforts, yes, although it's been, quite a long time since we had Ghana moving very, very far into the World Cup and stuff, but as I keep saying, you have to be optimistic when it comes to these stuff. Even though you don't have to raise your expectations too high, because hey, sometimes you can be so disappointed. It's going to break your heart so much. I can't remember the number of times I've had heartbreaks from having so much high expectations. So it's a 50-50 something for me. If we qualify, okay, sure. If we don't, then it's something that could have happened anyways. But then I'm hoping that we're still going to be able to push for it and then qualify for it, because it's going to be good news for the whole of Ghanaians. Everyone is going to be so happy about that. So I'm hoping it's going to be good coming in. Yeah.
Okay, so that is coming from Arama there. Interesting submission. Okay, so away from that story, let's talk about Darwin Núñez. And then yesterday, he and Nicolas de la Cruz scored to give Uruguay a 2-0 win over Brazil in the 2026 World Cup qualifier on Tuesday, as Neymar was forced off late in the first half after suffering what appeared to be a serious knee injury. So Núñez opened the scoring in the 42nd minute with a diving header, and Brazil's night went from bad to worse 2 minutes later when Neymar went down after tussling for the ball with de la Cruz. So Brazil FA sources, according to them, said the forward had sustained a severe left knee sprain and that he would undergo tests to determine if there was ligament damage. Okay, so we were talking about Neymar earlier, and then looking at what has happened once again. It's just quite unfortunate, but we're just hoping that he recovers fast, because this is not helping his career at all. Okay, so now let's move on to my last story for today. Okay, so former captain of Super Eagles John Mikel Obi, he has called Eden Hazard the laziest footballer he has ever come across. So Mikel and then Hazard played together for 5 seasons in Chelsea from 2012 till Mikel left Stamford Bridge in 2016. Hazard joined Real Madrid in 2018, but his time at the club was a failure as he was beset by injuries and poor form. He eventually retired from football last month, claiming it's time to drink a few more beers. So speaking on this, Mikel described how training with the Belgian felt like. Obi highlighted that despite Hazard's fault in training, his performance during games were always premium. Okay, so that is an interesting submission coming from Mikel there, but that is his opinion. I mean, he thinks that Eden Hazard was the laziest player he had ever known. But I'm sure other people also have different thoughts about Eden Hazard. To us, he is a legend, and it was just quite unfortunate that he had to announce his retirement from professional football very early. So yes, this is where time will permit me to end the Sports and Minute segment right here on the Healthy Morning Show. My name once again is Precious AZUMAH. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much for updating us on stuff happening in the world of sport. And I wanted to add something with the last story you spoke about. Words are very powerful. Words really have effect on humans, and I know footballers are very emotional, but we have no idea about it.
Yeah, of course, they're going to hide it, behind
they are going to hide
doors.
it. Anytime they lose matches, just look at their face and how they walk off the pitch, which is quite draining. And coming on social media to read comments coming from people they claim to be supporting is very devastating. Now let's talk about his coach, or the one who mentioned that he's one of the
He's a
laziest
lazy
players.
person.
Mikel.
How do you expect him to, take this in, looking at the time and tenor he's been able to play for the club? You just coming and see all these things. I think when it comes to football, it takes a lot of emotional stress, trying to put yourself together. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So we should be calm
careful
sometimes
with
with,
our words.
even with Ghanaians talking about our current coach.
Yeah,
Chris
Chris
Hughton.
We are home in instruction. But how would he feel, let's be chilled. If we're
It's not
submitting-
only them feeling sad because of the comments that come in. Let's say after a match is played, they're already feeling down. If they have already lost, they already feel down. As you
so
said, look
why
at the
add up
expressions
more?
that come in. And then you also come on social media and then add up with negative comments, and which is why sometimes I say it's not even advisable to go on social media after something like this. If I was in their shoes, I wouldn't even
You didn't go
dream
around.
of
You
going
know,
on
that
social media.
brings me to something interesting I saw on social media yesterday. That's Paul Adumotre he has a program, one of the media stations where we're talking about this invasion thing that happened with the media houses, and now they said there's a fine that's supposed to be paid if such acts goes on. And there was someone who took to social media and said that is it 2,400?
2,400,
We don't care, I'll pay. And Paul Adumotre called the guy out and said that he's going to follow up with him, and he's going to ensure that he's going to take him to court and he's going to pay for that fine. Because let's talk about cyberbullying. Going on social media, bullying people.
Oh, that
saying
happens
whatever.
a lot.
It happens a lot of
And
time.
people have normalized it so much, they think that they can go away
It's a
with
thing,
it.
and let's talk. There's one blogger, I wouldn't want to mention his name. He's very known. Every time picking on people, picking on social media personalities, or let me say people who find themselves in political space, and says everything, he goes scot-free. But this time, Paul Adumotre said, "Hey, man, I'm coming for you, and you're going to pay
You
that
should,
money."
you should.
So
It's
when
going
you
to serve
go-
as a
yeah,
scapegoat
when you
to the
pay
other
that
people.
money, it's going to be like a wake-up call for other
I think
people.
I'll come on social media and then just say anything. I mean, come
Alright.
on, this is a serious issue, and people should really be cautious about the comments they put on social media.
And even an example is talking about sports once again, Freezy McBones. He lost his first bout here in Ghana. Talking about the upcoming Olympic 2024, they have to play qualifiers heading into that. And he lost his first bout, and then a lot of Ghanaians started coming at him, criticizing him on social media, to the extent that he came out saying that he doesn't even go on his social media to even
Exactly what I was saying.
And I follow him on Snapchat, and I like the way he's living freely, doing his own thing.
The comments are not, he's not letting it get to him. He's not even giving them attention. And that is what I would have also done if I was in his shoes. Because I know that if after this happens, definitely people are going to give me, headache. And I don't want to go through that. So I'm not going to go.
One thing I think we should always put in our head is whatever you do, people will talk. Whether it's good or it's bad,
they're going to talk.
they will talk. So you just have to psych your mind and then just let it be.
Yeah, like the Gen Z buddies who say, yeah. So it's we are just encouraging people watching us this morning. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, get better. Yeah, definitely there's going to be the negative and the positive and ups and down moments. But all you need to do is just pick up yourself and keep going, regardless of the situation. You're still a champion wherever you are. Yeah. So again, we're going to say thank you so much, Precious, for updating us and stuff in the world of sports. And next, Irama is going to have an interesting conversation. We're talking about kidney here and there, people suffering, where moving to Akolibu Hospital, where we have the one of the sections being closed down, people losing their lives and all that. It's very disturbing. Let's get educated on this topic right after this break. We'll be right back.